It says I'm live. Are we live? Someone tell me. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is there anybody out there? I've got all the weird ass genres of music references that I don't like. I got an REM song lyric in the title of this video. It is not the end of the world, by the way, you guys. But yet again, just like last Saturday night, I picked a semi-obnoxious title for the live because I don't know. I guess I'm trolling y'all now, aren't I? All right, you guys can see me. Oh my God, my entire mod fam. I'm seeing nothing but wrenches. Mariella, Kit, Kelly, John, Audra, Alexis, Erica. Hi, everybody. Yes, yes. Kelly's very proud that she's wearing pants, as am I. I mean, leggings, but, you know, it's typical YouTuber stuff. You wear a nice top and then you wear sweatpants. So, yeah, in case anyone has never watched my videos before and is unaware with my sense of humor, obviously I'm being facetious with it. It is not the end of the world, but it is serious. But, you know, I think a lot of us, especially Black people, other marginalized communities, my LGBTQ plus brethren and sistren and non-binary dren, we often use humor as a coping mechanism. When you walk every day of your life on a razor's edge, you're usually the first one cracking jokes to laugh, to stop from crying. So I think that's what's happening a lot, especially in this current crisis, right? Hi, everybody. You clicked on it because you agreed to some extent. I mean, I think the scariest thing about our situation is the unknown. I mean, I think most of us don't know what the next days, weeks, and even months are going to bring. In California, they officially did the shutdown. I don't think it's quite as severe as what Macron is doing over in France. He's the president of France, if you're not familiar, Emmanuel Macron. I didn't take French, so forgive my terrible accent. But they actually get fined if they are out in public in a non-essential capacity. So you better be going to the pharmacy, you better be getting groceries, you better be going to work in an essential position. Here in California, it's just like, stay at home, will ya? Because they did a press conference, I believe it was Thursday, I want to say, where they have officially shut down all businesses that are considered non-essential. What I find to be peculiar is that they are considering restaurants to be essential. They're not. Grocery stores, yes. Restaurants, no. Thank you, Valerie. Ooh, Aussie money. Thank you for the super chat. And if anything, keeping restaurants open is putting restaurant staff at risk and not helping to flatten that curve. So I don't agree with that at all. I know that there are some people who are unable to cook for themselves and they would need some sort of assistance in that capacity. But for just some schmuck who doesn't want to learn how to cook or learn how to reheat frozen food from the grocery store, that's a you problem. So I don't know how I feel about them keeping restaurants open during all of this. But that has been the edict for California. We had the LA mayor, we had the Long Beach mayor, we had the Pasadena mayor, and then the governor, Gavin Newsom, also came out on Friday, or I think it was Thursday. And they were like, this is what's happening. We don't want to be Italy. So, yeah. All the booth stores are open and they're delivering? Well, they better be delivering. Listen, I consider Mama's medicine an essential. Yet again, I've got my Boozy Booch high ABV kombucha. Today's flavor is the beet, blood orange, and pomegranate, I believe. Cheers. And I've got my silicone straw here so that it doesn't clink my teeth as I go for a drink here. Yeah, Diva Views. I think some of the liquor stores here might also be open. Yeah, Sade, and welcome. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you, Sade. I think a lot of, not a lot, I think all of the restaurants are only open for pickup / takeout and delivery, but still, it's still putting the people who work there at risk. I mean, I feel bad enough for grocery store employees and people who are still considered essential enough to have to report. But I mean, I went to the grocery store today. I needed some things. I made chili, in fact. I think this is the second or third time doing a live where I had chili simmering in the background, but I just turned it off, so I don't have to worry about running out of here to go turn off my chili or anything. Ray Ray is being nosy as usual. I don't know what it is, but whenever I start talking to you guys on the webcam, all of a sudden she gets very nosy, and she's just like, what are you doing? I want to be on camera. So here she is, being nosy as usual. Yeah, Sade, always happy to have you back in the mix. Valerie wants to all day drink, or just day drink. It is tempting. I mean, I think I said this last week, but for me, self-isolating is not much of a lifestyle change. It's different in that I can't go out on the weekends, hang out with my friends, go out dancing, stuff like that I normally like to do. But day to day, unless I'm on set, I'm working at home anyway, whether it's writing, script pages or working on content for YouTube or whatever it is that I'm doing that day. So I'm usually in a regular week spending most of my work hours sitting right where you see me right now. So that hasn't been a huge adjustment, but I know for a lot of people it is. And this is also something I talked about last week. That's why I'm trying to be more proactive with putting up more content, doing more lives, because loneliness is a real issue. Parasocial relationships feel very real. And in many cases, I believe they are real. And I don't want people to feel like everything else is stopping. I mean, because I feel fine, it's the end of the world and I feel fine. I feel it very much upon my spirit that I want to help people still feel connected to the outside world. And that reminds me, there's actually a lot of other people and even corporations doing similar things to help people still feel together, even though we're all apart, which I think is a good thing. I mean, first of all, this is a golden age for cam girls. I was joking with my friends because we have a group text and we've been keeping in touch about just day-to-day bullshit since this started, about like what we're cooking, what we're eating for lunch, all that kind of stuff, what our experiences are like when we go to the grocery stores and things like that. And I made a joke that I'm a glorified cam girl doing all these lives on YouTube lately. And perhaps in my sliding doors alternate universe, maybe in that alternate universe, I permed my hair and I'm just racking it up on my OnlyFans or something. By the way, I hadn't even heard of what OnlyFans is until very recently. And if you don't know, it's basically for cam girls. But yeah, I only heard of that recently, funny enough, after I went to that YouTube Black event, because there was a girl I met there and we exchanged IG handles. And I went to her profile to follow her, and I noticed her link wasn't to YouTube and it was to an OnlyFans page. And I was just like, what is OnlyFans? And I was just like, oh, okay. But in any event, I think a lot of people are doing more live content because for some people like me, I've actually just been, even before all this started, I've been feeling really good, feeling really creative, having lots of ideas for videos and stuff. And now being forced to stay home more than I normally would, I got a lot more time to actually execute a lot of those ideas. So I'm going to be doing more live content and regular content in the coming days and weeks, because prior to probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, your girl was feeling low. My Patreon fam knows this, pretty much everyone with a wrench. Y'all already know this, but I was low. I had the blues from basically the holiday season until like early to mid-February. And then I started to feel good again last month. And I just had a lot of inspiration and I've been feeling really good. Productivity makes me happy anyway. So it's been a nice, like, self-perpetuating machine of motion. So I'm just trying to channel all of that into my channel. And it just so happens that now is a time where so many of us are really relying on our parasocial relationships and trying to strengthen those connections. So I don't know. If you are a content creator, you already know, with just the moods and ups and downs of life, you have to create when you feel good. Because if you feel like filming, for the love of God, film, because there's going to be days when you don't feel like filming. Thank you, Cassidy. Completely agree. It's a very weird mix of normalcy and emergency. Like, I was walking to the grocery store today and I ran into one of my good friends. He was just on the street. He was about to go for a run. And he was just like, yeah, can't go to the gym. So I guess I'm running now. Just like, yeah, I'm hoping I don't have to wait on a line to get into the grocery store. And I don't even know if they're going to have the things I need, because I was making chili. And I was like, I need like canned beans and canned tomatoes. Are they going to have those things? But otherwise, it was kind of normal. Like I run into him all the time because we live in the same neighborhood. We run into each other at the dog park. We're friends. So it's this weird thing where in certain contexts, you're just like, oh, right. The apocalypse, I forgot. And then other times you're just like normal. Like even right now, it feels kind of normal just to be doing a live with you guys. I got my little black and tan here hanging out with me. Happy to see you guys. I've been looking forward to this live. It's so funny. I put up the notice for this live yesterday. I was just like, would it be bad if I just did 2 lives? I was so like in the mood to hang out with you guys. But what else did I want to talk about? Oh, plugs. Time for plugs. Because first off, as I mentioned, a lot of people are doing a lot more lives and things to help us all feel together, even in being isolated and potentially alone. Thank you, Naka. Thank you so much. So Alicia, if you guys aren't familiar, her channel name is Kinky Sweat. She has been doing lives every week on Fridays for a couple months now, I would say. And lately she's been doing 2 a week. So that's really cool. Check her out. She did one on Wednesday and one on Friday. And I think she was planning to maybe do the same thing again next week. Another channel to check out is Kelsey Brianna J. Kelsey Brianna. And don't forget the J. Another one of my YouTube friends. She's been going live a lot lately as well. Then my friend Essence, she's one of my like real life friends as well. She's a DJ and a yoga trainer, which is honestly one of the most LA sentences that anyone has ever said. But that's what she does. She's a DJ and a yoga instructor. She last night, because she's a DJ, she was spinning live on Instagram in her apartment. So her, I should add all of these channels to the description box after I'm done with this live, but her Instagram channel or page is called DJ She Rock. Exactly like it sounds. She, S-H-E, Rock, R-O-C-K, DJ She Rock. You'll find her, and she's going to be doing more of those. And it was so cool because I would see our other real life friends in the chat on the live, and we were all just at home dancing, feeling like we're still together, even though we're not. Thank you, Janisa. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I will link them after the chat, but Kinky Sweat, just search YouTube, Kelsey Brianna J. It's no Y in Kelsey. It's K-E-L-S-E-E, Brianna J. And I believe it's J-A-I, not J-A-Y, both on YouTube. And then my friend Essence, she is on Instagram, DJ She-Rock, but I think she said she's going to do her next live at home dance party on Zoom, which I'm not even sure what that is, but my friends keep mentioning it too because they want to like watch a movie together on Zoom and we can all live chat, but I don't even have that. I think this is not just cam girls, but this is a bit of a renaissance for live streaming services as well. Is there anyone else I wanted to mention? I don't think so, except for Audra, and we're going to get to her in a moment. I know she's already here because I saw you in the chat, Audra. Okay, so yeah, I think that was everyone I wanted to mention in case you guys are just looking for more cool channels to check out and people who are doing live content if you're feeling a little bit lonely. So Audra at home here on YouTube, I did already link a video that hopefully some of you guys had time to watch before I actually went live today, but doubtful because there's 330 people in here right now, and I know that there are probably like 10 people in here when I checked a few minutes before I actually hit go live. But Audra's been doing more live. She's been doing more content. We were chatting on Patreon and she was saying that she's actually feeling super inspired and has lots of video ideas lately too. So go subscribe to her channel. I've already linked one of her videos, the one I wanted to talk about with you guys today, in the description box, or really more, her video touched on a topic that I was already thinking about and one that I want to talk to you guys about today. Just kind of get your thoughts and whatnot. So, hey, Audra. Yes, ooh, dance party. Yes, for sure, for sure. So we are in the situation that we are in, right? And we already have the issue of many people relying on ordering things online, having them delivered that they maybe didn't necessarily need to have delivered. Like maybe they could just get up and take their ass to the store and get whatever they needed instead. But I think more people are going to be doing that, on top of people who have no choice. You know, people who are disabled in some way or another and are unable to actually go out to the store, get things they need, and they rely on delivery services, online shopping, things of this nature. And I just wanted to at least try to shed some light on the human cost of what will inevitably be a bottlenecking of demands of warehouses. Ray, how do you have your nail stuck in my sweater? Of warehouses, logistics personnel. Oh, thank you, French Fry. Welcome. French Fry just joined us on Patreon too. Yes, thank you. You have a nice night as well. I'm glad you were able to join for a few minutes. But yes, things are going to bottleneck and potentially spiral out of control, because I think people often have unrealistic expectations in terms of what they think is possible when they order online. Like I see people complaining about things taking, you know, more than 2 or 3 days to get to them when they order online. And that is going to be exacerbated by this current situation. You know what I'm saying? And there's a real human cost there, because the reason that things sometimes don't get to you in the stated time isn't necessarily that people don't give a fuck. It means that they're probably stretched thin already. And in terms of workplace injuries, overworking people, and just inhumane treatment of people who work in these warehouses and in these delivery services, there's often quotas that are just unrealistic for them to meet. And I just would hope that everyone can kind of keep that in mind, maybe resist the urge to order things online that you are capable of going and getting yourself, to help at least ameliorate some of the demands that are going to be placed on online merchants, delivery personnel, and warehouse personnel. Thank you, as good as the first time. That's very sweet. So that's just, I mean, again, Audra's video goes into the real life day-to-day of what it's like to work in a warehouse. And I also linked a podcast that one of my friend Sketch, was talking about, this really good podcast that I listened to while I was making my chili. So that's that's also already linked in the description box. It was, I'm not a podcast host, so I hadn't even heard of this podcast before, but it is called Reveal. And I've already noted which episode and whatnot that you guys want to look into, regarding the conditions, the dangers, again, inhumane treatment of people who work in these facilities, and just managing your expectations, maybe thinking of the human costs on the other end of you capriciously ordering something from Amazon that you could very easily have gotten locally if you just take the proper precautions, you know, put your mask on if you have it, wash your hands as soon as you get home, bring your disinfecting wipes with you if you have them, that sort of thing. Yeah, exactly, Audra. So I think that could even fall under some of the people who have to order online. If you have dietary restrictions and the place you live doesn't even have some of the foods that you need because you're in maybe an isolated area, like I'm not. I'm in Los Angeles, so we've got a lot of shelves cleared right now, but normally you can pretty much get anything you need, especially when it comes to dietary restrictions, because there's so many people out here who have like dietary restrictions that haven't even started trending yet because they're just extra. Whereas there's other people who actually can't eat certain things because it will send them to the hospital. And the last thing we need is sending more people to the hospital. So just think of that kind of thing before you, again, just order things online when maybe you don't need to. Ray Ray's getting squirmy, so I'm going to put her to the side. Dee doesn't want coronavirus delivered to her doorstep. Yeah, I mean, it's so strange that the new normal, when I came home with my groceries today to make my food, before I even went in my kitchen, I keep my disinfecting wipes at my door. I was wiping down all the cans and everything. It's crazy. This is the new normal. I wiped down every piece from that grocery store except the produce. And I was just like, hopefully everything gets killed when it gets cooked at a high temperature. I mean, I don't know what else to do about that. Let me see here. I'm trying to catch up. This chat is going fast, you guys, as usual. Oh, I see Kelly saying bye to Gina or Jenna. I'm sorry I missed you, Jenna, but you know, I know some people can only hang out a few minutes, and I usually want to kind of get through certain topics before I can really try to dig in and keep up with the chat here. Caleb. Oh, hey, Alicia. Didn't even see you come in. Hi, friend. So KL's has a fat restricted diet and all you want to do is eat snacks. That's another legitimate concern, KL's, because I've heard a lot of people say, I'm just eating all day. I've already gained X number of pounds and I've only been in isolation for a week, that sort of thing. And that is going to be a legitimate concern. Luckily, a lot of people, including our friend Alicia, who is here in the chat, in addition to actually doing content here on YouTube to help keep each other company, she's doing workouts on the, oh God, what is it called? I'm sorry, Alicia. I know it's Super She. That's what it's called. She's doing bar/body weight workout, bar-inspired body weight workouts on the Super She app. So I'm sure if you go to Kinky Sweat on Instagram, that's probably an easier way. Same name as here on YouTube. It's Kinky Sweat on Instagram. And you can get little taste, little tooty toot from her actual page and see some clips of those workouts. See if it suits you, if it tickles your pickle. And it'll help you make sure that you're staying active even in isolation. And I think a lot of the overeating that people are saying that they're struggling with in this situation has to do with, one, stress. People, I mean, that's why we have the phrase comfort food. People often will eat for comfort. 2, boredom. And then 3, reduced activity from being home all day. So again, because this is kind of my normal lifestyle is being home all day and working from home almost all days, typically, that hasn't really been something that even crossed my mind, but I'm seeing a lot of people self-reporting that. And it's important because it's important to stay healthy, especially now. And we don't want to compromise our immune systems any more than we, than we need to in a situation where we're already trying to avoid catching Ms. Rona. Oh, Ajama's here. Ajama, I'm making that broccoli too in a couple days. I have the broccoli in my fridge already. The problem with that broccoli is I tend to want to eat the whole batch in one sitting. It's so good. There's this garlic broccoli with it's roasted garlic and lemon broccoli. I made it on my Instagram the first time I ever made it, but I made it many times since then. And it's so good because I've loved broccoli even since I was a kid. And it's a highlight in my Instagram stories if you want to check it out. My Instagram is linked in the description box already. And it's just too good. I make a big batch and it's supposed to last me a couple days. And then it doesn't. It lasts me 2 sittings because I just wouldn't eat all of the broccoli. Antonio, I am still doing intermittent fasting. I've been doing it at least 2 years now, I want to say. Oh, Irene is here too. Hi, Irene. Y'all talking about stress eating carbs? Yeah, Ajama, you're going to love that broccoli. Trust me. Ooh. Yeah, Audra, I guess you're probably considered essential personnel since you work in logistics. I mean, you're probably more essential than you've ever been. Just be safe, be careful. Just bathe yourself in hand sanitizer. Oh, geez. Diva Views, I agree. Some of these new efforts, yeah, because I honestly think a lot of what we're seeing happening, it's been an eye-opener in terms of seeing who people really are. I think in this crisis, a lot of people are really showing their asses. And some people were clearly just nasty before. I mean, and still are, because I saw a post from Vox on their community tab yesterday where they had an explainer as to why washing your hands for 20 seconds, not 10, not 15, 20 seconds is vastly more effective in helping to stem the transmission of Ms. Rona. And you would not believe that there were comments of people saying, no, it's 20 seconds. And like, you're that much of a fuckwit that you can't be bothered to, like, this is a pandemic. Thank you, Arish Kigal. Yeah, I'm still doing my intermittent fasting. Typically, I find myself, even before this started, I get a little hungry. I get hungrier than normal a little earlier than normal lately, unless I'm just super busy, because being busy with work tends to distract me and I don't even notice that I haven't eaten all day. But I've been breaking my fast earlier than usual, usually around 2 or 3, where normally it's 4 or 5 for me. So I've been doing more of a 16-8, whereas normally I do more of a 18-6 in terms of fasting hours to fed hours. I've literally, well, I've always double washed my hands. These people are confusing me. It's shocking how disgusting these people have been the whole time, but it's also not. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people walk out of restrooms without washing their hands. People are gross, and that's why we're at where we're at. Yeah, yeah, exactly, John. See, I don't wear a Fitbit or anything like that. I'm always afraid about having technology on my body for long periods of time. I don't even sleep with my phone in my bedroom. But take it off, wash your hands for that 20 seconds. If you can't keep track of 20 seconds, sing the happy birthday song twice. Which is something I've been doing for a long time. I remember hearing that on a talk show, like a daytime talk show, like 10 years ago. And I was just like, oh, great. Yeah, I'll do that. And I mean, I didn't protest it like these fuckwits under that Vox post. Jeez Louise. Oh, thank you, Irene. No, I did not see the Omari Hardy video. Oh, Artichoke is here. What's up, Amanda? Hey, April. This. I hate shaking people's hands. Just don't touch me. You're probably a disgusting person. Kelly was a janitor in high school. I can imagine that it's probably even worse in high school. Have you guys seen the headlines about teenagers? And if there's anything, I don't think there's anything worse on the planet than teenagers. But teenagers are apparently deliberately coughing on food at grocery stores and filming themselves and posting it to social media. Like, what? Where are your parents? Because they need to be cracking them skulls. If you think that that's cool and funny, if that's what you're doing for likes, I'm not even going to continue. Right. Yeah, I agree, Antonio. Yeah, I mean, mild sickness, this country is so messed up that there's so many people who have to go to work sick, who can't go to the hospital to a doctor when they need it because they don't have health insurance. I mean, that's partly why I'm basically a bruja. Why do you think I'm always proselytizing for elderberry syrup and manuka honey? It's because I can't go to the doctor. Hey, Amanda. A fifth. Listen, well, she played herself with that. She licked a freezer handle in protest. Joke's on you, lady. Yes, Sade. They need an ass whooping. Completely agree. Ugh, teenagers. The worst. Oh, Audra at home is talking about teletherapy. Yeah, my brother's fiance is a therapist, and she's been doing Skype sessions for the past week, 2 weeks. And I actually started therapy in February, and I'm technically supposed to have an appointment this week, but I'm like, I don't think we should be doing this. But I have to find out. Excuse me, the kombucha, the carbonation, trying to. John Mulaney actually has a joke about that, about just talking. Being an adult is basically just talking your way through belching. It's disgusting. Alicia, La Bruja. That's me. If you don't have health insurance, get you some herbs, girl. You better do some Googling. Okay, Irene, I'll check my DMs after we're done here. Thank you. They should be charged as adults for crimes against humanity. They definitely need, I think, a pretty severe punishment. Again, it's time to crack some skulls. Yeah, April, call your therapist. I'm going to probably email mine since it's the weekend, and that way I have it in writing. Yeah, exactly, John. Because I think my appointment is Tuesday, and I'm just like, I feel like I shouldn't go. But she hasn't told me that she, isn't seeing people, so I don't know. Aja, the Mulaney bit is so good. He's just like, so I think maybe we should just keep on. And he just keeps going. It's so funny. He's one of my favorite comedians, which we actually talked about on a recent live. They're not going to get punished, Alexis. I mean, are you speculating or have you confirmed? I hope they do. I hope they do. Ugh, assholes. Yeah, Dee Dee. Tease. And you know what? One of my friends went to the grocery stores, post shit hitting the fan. And she said there was no tea. Like, these asshole hoarders had ransacked the tea aisle, which I get. I mean, that probably isn't nationwide. This is LA. So people are just like, give me all the ginger tea. But I've been drinking a cup of ginger turmeric tea, a great way to help boost immunity, manuka honey, elderberry syrup. These things are all very high in demand right now, I would imagine. But if you can get your hands on some, do so. Oh, COS is here. I always see you in Alicia's lives as well, my friend. Hello. Right. Yeah, Amanda. The millionaires. It's so tired, as well as just the celebrities coming out as testing positive for Ms. Rona. I hate that we have to be this cagey, but YouTube is so dumb with just like automatically demonetizing people. Anyway, like it's really rubbing me the wrong way seeing all these celebrities coming out like I tested positive, blah blah blah, because it's just like, okay, I mean, is Ms. Rona so hot right now? What are y'all doing? Are you guys trying to make it trend? I don't what we don't care. We don't care. And it's always like D and F listers. I skipped over E because I was thinking of Andy Cohen. F. And who else? Debbie Mazar. Like, who's next? Andy fucking Dick? Just for saying fucking and then dick, I'm probably going to get demonetized. Oh well. Yes, exactly, John. And then the people just flexing the fact that money matters more than humanity, because all of these rich people are able to get access to getting tested even when they don't even when they're asymptomatic, when people I know in real life are showing symptoms and can't get tested. I've had friends who have had coughs and fevers and they can't get tested. And you want to know why I don't want to vote for Biden? You want to know why I'm a Bernie bro? Listen, frozen ginger on hand. That's probably smart. Yeah, I always have ginger tea in the cupboard and that kind of stuff. Exactly, Alexis. They have access to tests and we don't. And Big Brother Motown, I will be shocked if any celebrities do die. I'll be very shocked. Lifeboats for the wealthy. We covered this last time. It's just like the Titanic. COS is my name. I don't know if Pence got tested yet, but even if he were positive or if Drumpf were positive, they're not telling us that. They're never going to tell us that. That would be concealed. Trump's entire image is being a strongman fucking bully. So he would never come out as having tested positive. Audra, that's rich. Audra says on Twitter, someone posted, for the average American, the best way to find out if you have it is to cough on a rich person and wait for their results. Life hack. Alexis, I mean, That's great if it's true, if there is a company that's going to make home tests available, but what's the price on those? Is it even going to be something that the average American can afford, especially in a time where a lot of people aren't able to work and therefore can't earn, even with this $1,000 bribe coming from from Drumpf? Please. Drumpf said he swabbed himself. I mean, the man is a walking lie. Just look at his hair. Yeah, Lauren, that's actually a great point. If you have just the spice turmeric, you can take a quarter of a teaspoon and just mix it in with your tea. I've done that too. But I have actual, just Trader Joe's brand, ginger turmeric tea bags. Turmeric is a miracle root. Is it a root? It's one of those things that it's always good to have around. And I have like some super bougie turmeric from the Anima Mundi brand. That's one of my, if you go way back with me, or even if you've just seen my How I Never Get Sick video, you'll know that I love that brand. Maybe I'll try to remember to add that as well to the description box after. Gotta link my friends, link Alicia and Kelsey and Essence. And yeah, I'll try to remember to link Anima Mundi herbals, because they get this crazy heirloom turmeric from the Brazilian rainforest, and it's like next level. But even if not, whatever turmeric you have, was it Theodore Roosevelt who said, do what you can with what you have where you are? Words to live by at any time, but especially right now. Ayo's here. What's up, Ayo? I have tried the DIY turmeric face masks, but they leave you looking a little jaundicey after. Like the turmeric really stains your skin. And it takes a while to wash off. Like it takes a couple washes. So you just look a little Oompa Loompa-ish for like half a day to a day. So I haven't really been consistent with it. I haven't done one in a pretty long time. Kelly, black pepper is fantastic, especially with turmeric. I think you need a little bit of black pepper to really make the turmeric reach its maximum efficacy. So it's great if you cook with turmeric because you're probably using black pepper anyway. The tea bags I have also already have black pepper in them, I'm pretty sure. Like they knew what they were doing when they crafted those tea bags. But yeah, if you can, sneak in a little black pepper with that turmeric because it really boosts the efficacy of the herb or root, whatever the hell. Y'all talk too fast. Yeah, girl, my sink goes yellow. Yes, the sink too. Not just my skin, but my sink. Yeah, makeup or breakup, turmeric, honey. I mean, that's nature's pharmacy, man. All of these things are there for us to help heal ourselves. I mean, I do believe like if push comes to shove and you aren't able to get well with anything other than Western medicine, I'm not completely against it, you know? But my feeling is avoid Western medicine for as long as possible. Like I won't even take an aspirin. Avoid elderberry, AK lady? Why? I've always, well, not always, but I've used elderberry for years to help fight off colds. Elderberry syrup. I have not heard that it's bad. I have not seen Kanye West's Over Party, but there's a new insert name as Over Party pretty much once a week. What did he do this time? Shabbat Shalom, Queen Bee. Coffee grounds are great for a number of skin treatments. I got a coffee scrub in my shower right now. Yeah, can someone who's saying avoid elderberry please explain yourself? I love it's like a little treat. When I feel like I'm getting sick, I just take a teaspoon of my elderberry syrup. It's like it tastes good. I like it. Victory begins in the garden. What video are you guys talking about? I missed something. Oh, it's bad for Miss Rona. They almost got me. They almost got me. I didn't watch Naomi's video, Kelly. No, I feel there's just something in poor taste about some of Naomi's posts since this crisis started. Because, A of all, her video that she did last year of her flying routine of how she sanitizes everything and covers everything, that's great. But then, like, I loved that. I was just like, oh, I need to be doing all this stuff. This is amazing. But then she posted like a video or a photo or something of herself in a hazmat suit at the airport. And again, like, I understand making light of the situation. There was just something about that maybe it's because she's rich and famous that it just rubbed me the wrong way, that photo just didn't hit me right. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not against people using humor to cope with the situation, because I do too. But something about that photo is just like, oh, it must be nice. Most people can't even buy hand sanitizer, and here you are, like showing off. I don't know. It just hit me the wrong way. So no, I have not watched her video about that she put up a day or two ago, because I'm still kind of like side eyeing her. It's just like, perspective, Naomi, perspective. Hibiscus flowers get the job done. I'm going to have to look into this elderberry being bad for Miss Rona, because I've taken it a couple times since this all began, but I didn't want to use it all up. So I've probably taken it like 3 days, and that was it. So if it's not good for this, and I'm happy to save it. Exactly, Amanda. Hospitals are running out of supplies and Naomi has a full suit. It's just like, come on, man. Like, I don't think there's such a thing as too soon if a joke is funny. I just didn't find it funny, and it just irked me. It irked me. The ungodly amount of vitamins and powders she ingested. I believe it. It seemed like I could tell from the thumbnail that I was just like, this is probably going to be excessive. More is not more typically when it comes to supplements. Even when I feel like I'm getting sick, I tend to focus on two to four things. Like, I'll do honey and lemon and echinacea, or oil of oregano, apple cider vinegar, elderberry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking 40 different things. John, are you talking about the way Drum says China? China, China. He's the worst. Elderberry is great for our eyesight, non-GMO. Queen Bee, by the way, cool it on the caps. Diva Views, I haven't even like watched any of these videos on the DIY hand sanitizer. I told y'all, I mean, push comes to shove, I'm just gonna spray some actual alcohol on my hands and then follow it up with lotion so they don't get too dry. My hands are already chapping because I already washed my hands a lot before this, and it was always the first thing I did when I would come in after saying hello to my dog, of course. And now, because anytime I think about washing my hands, it's like, I should probably do it, even when I haven't gone out or anything. So at this point, my hands are actually starting to scab up. But Van Lathan, formerly of TMZ, I follow him on Instagram, and he put up a funny post of his own hand looking ashy as hell. He's just like, this is how I want all y'all's hands to be looking right now. Ashy. And I was just like, yes, I agree. The head Cheeto and his baby hands. I've got very normal hands, normal size hands. That was the best when he was so pressed about that. He was tight. He was tight over that that runner of him having those tiny hands. Amanda's cuticles are a mess. Allie, hazmat, but make it fashion. I can hazmat fashion? Okay, I'll see myself out. Sorry, guys. CeraVe moisturizing cream in the tub. I don't like anything in a tub if I'm putting it on my face, but I will use tub moisturizers on my body because they're nice and thick with two C's, the way I like it. still pressed over his hands, Kelly says. Uh, Stoli makes an excellent hand sanitizer. I think that's actually bad advice based on continue. I'm talking about like rubbing alcohol. I think I've got a little spray bottle on my vanity. I don't know why I'm pointing to this. It's in my bedroom. And if anything, I'm going to dump out the rose water that I've got in there and just put some rubbing alcohol in there if push comes to shove. April likes my Trump voice. I do have a bit. I've got an ear. I've got a bit of a knack for mimicking, and I've always liked funny voices since I was a kid. So this is what I would do to amuse myself. If someone had a funny or interesting voice, I would like practice learning how to do it. So I've got it's a weird like parlor trick. Yes, Janisa, I haven't watched that TED Talk with Bill Gates, but it's been in my recommended, and I think I have it on my watch later. I've seen the same one. I was just like, yeah, I mean, of course Bill Gates knew. You know, of course no one listened though, because he's also been preaching about the water crisis that's heading our way. Not to use a completely inappropriate metaphor, like a tsunami. Listen, I think the powers that be, the Drumps and whatnot, they know these things and they downplay access to this kind of information for us, you know, regular people, because they don't want to incite panic. But trust and believe, if we knew half of the things that they were hiding from us, we would all be in a state of constant panic. On the other hand, what can we do about it? You know, I was talking to my girl Egyptian queen in the comments. I don't know if you're here, my girl, but we were talking in the comments, and I was just like, yeah, I'm an assertive hippie. If I gotta go today, then that's the way it has to be. If I have to go tomorrow, then that's the way it has to be. I don't, tomorrow is not promised, and neither is today. So I have the things that I believe in. I try to live in such a way so that my quality of life in terms of how I feel and how I can move my body is as good as it can be for as long as I'm here. But I also realize that there's a lot of things that I can't control, and therefore I'm not going to worry about them. I control the things that I can control, and then I try to be happy. That's it. Oh, interesting, Audrey. You stopped taking allergy medication and now you don't have drastic allergy reactions you used to. I mean, the whole thing's a racket. The entire pharmaceutical industry is a racket. That doesn't surprise me at all. There's more money in keeping people sick. Tiger King on Netflix, Space-Time Continuum. What's that about? I haven't even heard of that one. I'm supposed to start Westworld. So that's what I think is going to be my next binge, I guess, since I can't go out even on the weekends. Because I haven't watched it. I've heard that it's amazing, although I heard the second season was, so we'll see. But Westworld, I've been curious about it, unlike Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Game of Thrones and it was on, and now I feel like I got the last laugh because based on how it ended, from what I heard, I didn't miss a thing. Okay. All right, Urban Eve. See, that makes me happy. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, it lost you. See, COS, what I've heard is it's similar to The Wire in that it's not passive viewing. You have to be paying attention. It's not going to be one of those situations where you can be like vacuuming and still following. Like, you need to be engaged watching it. It's a doc about a batshit cray-cray zookeeper. Okay. I mean, that is a hell of a premise. I will look into that. You got to find a good follow-up podcast to explain the episode. Oh, man. Lisa, the amount of flack I have gotten for not watching. I mean, I don't get it anymore, especially like those last two seasons, people more or less left me alone. But the years leading up to it, it was ridiculous. I was just like, you guys realize this doesn't fucking matter. It's a TV show. Why do you care that I don't watch it? It doesn't take away from the fact that you like it. Me not watch, like, leave me alone. Delaney Scraps, I do not dabble in art or painting, but my brother is an artist. He does graphic novels, drawn his entire life. And I've always been the writer, you know, the bookworm. Although I honestly was basically functionally illiterate for the past several years. I only started getting into reading books again thanks to our book club over on Patreon. So God bless you, book club. You keep me accountable. But I've always been much more interested in word as my art, the use of the written word. However, I will say, getting into makeup has helped me to explore a different type of artistry, because I do believe in the artistry of real makeup artistry. And I don't think of myself as like anyone who's all that skilled, but I love to play. There have been times where I just can't be bothered. Like, I don't feel like putting on makeup. The only time I'm putting on makeup is to film for y'all. But right now I'm definitely in a very explorative, inspired place where I love to play with makeup. I love to play with color combinations, different shadow placements, leaning into my kookiness. Because your girl, she a kook. And I do feel like, in a weird way, that is something that kind of connects me to the artist that is within my brother. You know, that sort of play and experimentation. Oh, that's interesting, Lily Hama. Lab Muffin Beauty has an Excel sheet posted where you can enter the alcohol percentage and amount in your recipe in order to get the appropriate concentration of the fine. That's cool. Thank you, Jermaine. Oh, Alicia, I've heard so many things. Isabel, the shade, kook, Aquarius, same thing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm a kook. And I'm okay with it. Alicia, I've heard Schitt's Creek is amazing. I just haven't been able to get past the title, but I need to, because I love everyone in it. I mean, I love Waiting for Government, Best in Show, like that entire, you know, I don't want to say cast, but there's like another word for it. Company, I guess. Magical. I need to be watching it because I know, like, Catherine O'Hara, Eugene Levy, I believe, are both in it, right? Pence and his wife tested negative for the Rona. Sure they did. Okay. Ooh, Sarita. So you're struggling with foundation? You know what? I go through ups and downs where I just can't seem to get my base right either, especially in the mustache area. Oh, hi, Leslie Harvey. I find that, of course it is, Audra. Contagion and this virus have too much in common. I heard that Netflix had to pull all of their pandemic movies because people were like just spitting out watching them. But if I need to wax my lady mustache, my base ain't hitting, girl. Like, it will not stay there. And then it looks worse than it does with no makeup, because I'll have coverage on my cheeks and chin and whatnot. And then, like, it's just gone, just cloud of spores off my lady mustache, and then it looks darker. It's a situation. And I can't even get my lady mustache wax right now. I had to try to do something about it myself, but yeah, I can't even go and get hooked up right now. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad. I'm not the most hirsute woman on the planet, but something about these fine hairs, they were really playing me. There was a video I did recently where I had to redo this area 3 times because every time I would try to powder it, it would just lift. Like, my foundation would just lift. And I was like, what is going on? And it looked so bad. So I would just like clear it off and then try to blend another layer of foundation, powder it, lift. I went through this 3 or 4 times. God, if I can remember what video it was, I'll tell you guys, because I'm not too proud to tell you look for my mustache. I think it was my parasocialism video. I think it was my parasocialism video. Like that was the day where I was just like, what is going on with my face? Somebody help me, please. Ugh. But I do have this little weird springy tool. I would show you guys, but it's in my bathroom that I bought online somewhere where it's meant to be similar to threading. And it's like a little like spring thing with two little handles, and you just kind of bend it and roll it across your skin. And bit by bit, it grabs the hairs and like basically tweezes them out. Doesn't feel great, but I'm used to it. I'm used to yanking hairs out by the root because I've been a waxer and whatnot for years. And I was just like, I got to do something about this mustache because that was a high stress situation. Like my mustache was dark. It was so bad. I was like, I'm putting up a video anyway. Ain't too proud. Amber, are you and Isabel talking about Pence praying the gay away? Cloud of sports. Yes. I don't know what was happening. Like no matter, and this has happened to me before. And interestingly enough, every time I've had those days where I just can't get my base to stick to my lady mustache area, it's when I'm needing to film somewhere. And sometimes it's been when I'm filming like outside, like when I'm like booked on a shoot and I'm trying to get ready to like go to the shoot. Cause usually they're like, you know how to do makeup. We're not going to hire anyone. Come camera ready. I'm just like, thanks. And it's always when I need to be on camera, where it's just like, well, mustache is on show on today. And I'm afraid I don't speak Italian, but my niece does because she is Italian and she's in Italy right now. She's healthy and safe with her mom. Thank you for asking because I know someone's going to ask. They're fine. Just spoke to her mom today. But yeah, my niece, I mean, she was raised speaking Italian and English. So it's not even like two separate languages in her brain. I mean, they are. It's not like she like just rambles in Italianish. I'm trying to create a portmanteau of Italian and English. It didn't work. And it's just really cool. I'm just like, how do you say this? Because I really want to learn Italian. I do. When I went to Italy a couple of years ago, I set an intention to learn Italian, and I still have not. Agree with Audra. The caps make it hard to read because it's yelling. It's yelling. And I'm trying to train myself to ignore the caps because it's just rude to everyone else. So anyone who's typing in all caps, I'm trying to train myself to not, because that is why people do it, because they're just like, listen to me. Like they're yelling, listen to me in the chat. And like, that doesn't deserve to be rewarded. Oh, hey, Chloe, you made a live. Love to see it. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the chat. Allie, yes. I mean, I prime anywhere I'm putting foundation and nothing. It was not saving me that day. Chat's going a little crazy. Andrew Gillum. Now listen, I don't know the nitty gritty of his history and like whatever shadiness went on with his election and whatnot. But what I do know is this: he ain't coming back from this. And the reason for that is it's not even the drugs thing, it's homophobia, especially in the Black community. Quiet as it's kept. You guys know I love to use that phrase. Quiet as it's kept. The Black community is maybe one of the most homophobic communities still left. And even just a whiff of him being engaged in gay activities, it's a wrap. He will not have Black support after that. And that's that. It is all the way confusing because he has a whole ass wife and kid or kids at home. So It's ridiculous that we're in an age where so many people still feel the need to hide that part of themselves, if that is indeed what has gone on with him, where he's hidden his actual sexuality in order to be able to pursue political office. Because I mean, it happens all the time. How many gay scandals have we had with politicians? Countless. It's strange to think that in 2020 we're still having them, but they will continue, because especially for someone like Gillum, who is a black politician, or was, and needs black support, that shit ain't gonna fly. Because attitudes toward homosexuality and just the LGBTQ plus community in amongst black people are beyond archaic for the most part. Most people are way, way behind. 3 kids. See, that's the part that's got me fucked up. That ain't right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Saji Amorous. I agree with you to an extent, but we also like don't like know everything, and that's my point. Like the fact that we don't necessarily like know the full explanation, it doesn't even matter if we ever do, because the smoke is enough. The smoke is enough. We don't need to see pictures of the fire. So even if there were some miraculously uh, PG reason for him to be in that room, in which I don't know what that could possibly be, um, even without him having the wife and kids at home, the homophobia in the black community, like there's no coming back. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Oh, hey, Faith. Diva Views, he could be bi, he could be any number of things. I mean, the label doesn't really matter. It's unimportant. And that's kind of my point. Like, whether he's bi, whether he is straight and hadn't actually engaged, it doesn't matter. The perception that he was doing gay shit, the perception, you're done. That's the way it is. And it's weird to me that there's a large cadre of people in the black community who think that that's the problem and not the drugs. Like the meth, I think, is a bit more of a problem. Yeah, John, GHB. And I mean, my best friend's gay, so like I tend to hear about just all kinds of things that aren't necessarily well known that are still happening in the gay community. Just like meth, I believe it's called Tina. I remember him telling me that years and years ago. Uh, just Tina sex parties. I mean, there's a scene. There's a scene. Okay, you guys, it's been an hour already. My booch is getting a little low. Let's hang out a little bit longer. No, Isabel, Tina is meth as far as I remember, but I might be remembering incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure my bestie told me it's meth. April and Audra, neither of you are old. We're all young at heart. I know, John, that didn't feel like an hour at all, but I'm not trying to take up y'all's entire night, and I'm supposed to be doing a Zoom with my friends where we're going to watch a psychosexual thriller. Oh, very true, Audra. I do get a little uptight about like YouTube years because I don't feel any type of way about being in my 30s in real life. But then on YouTube, I'm just like, oh God, I don't want people to not want to sponsor me because they think I'm too old, even though I do like one sponsored video a year. Take up my night, Alexis. Wow. That's nice, Chloe. As long as you guys are staying safe and washing your hands. Marielle's got nothing to do with clean. Marielle, by the time this crisis is over, my apartment is going to be the cleanest it's ever been. I'm doing so. I was already kind of Marie Kondoing a lot of things, just going through things, rearranging things, rearranging my living room so that you guys don't have to look at my trash cans anymore on a hive. I moved everything around. But honestly, like, I'm cleaning so much more because I'm not tired on Saturday morning from being out all Friday night. So I'm just like, well, let's do a deep clean. So like bit by bit, my apartment's going to be sparkling. Everyone has spent their money on toilet rolls. No super chats. Spade time, I've gotten a handful of super chats, but yeah, I mean, that's not the point of this. The point of this is that we can be together. Hermit, I'm still YouTube young. I think I'm still YouTube young because I grew up with a lot of the now considered OG YouTubers. So I'm contemporaries with, like, say Jackie Ina, for example. But yeah, I don't feel... I'm so glad I didn't start doing YouTube until, like, for real, because I've technically been making videos for a pretty long time, but like I wasn't like doing it. I'm so glad I didn't start until I was already like a whole ass person. Because some of the bullshit that we deal with is, if you don't have a stable sense of self, it can really fuck with you. Especially now with these political videos I've been doing, the amount of just insults and vitriol, it's just like, man, it's a good thing I believe in me because this is a lot of fuckery. And I don't know if I would be able to just let things roll off my back the same way if I were 20, That might actually shake me up. Amanda's reorganized her fridge 3 times. Oh, Faith, suggestions for good movies on Netflix or Hulu? I don't have Hulu. And I don't even know what's on Netflix right now. Jeez. You know what you should watch, Faith? It's a Netflix original series called Bloodline. If you never watched it, it's got Ben Mendelsohn. Season 1 is like way better than season 2. I'll just tell you that right now. And frankly, I didn't realize that they had ever planned to do a second season of this particular show. It's not new. It's from a couple years ago. Ben Mendelsohn is on my mind because I've been watching The Outsider on HBO, and he's a major character in that. He plays a major character in that. But the performance that Ben Mendelsohn gives in Bloodline, particularly season 1, it is like what I refer to when I'm like, this is acting. Like, it is incredible. So I would say watch that, if for nothing else, for Ben Mendelsohn's performance. Thank you, James. Thank you for the super chat. So if for nothing else, watch it for Ben Mendelsohn's performance, because it's like aspirationally good for any actor. I mean, if anyone I know is trying to get into acting, I'm like, can you do this? Then this isn't for you. Yeah, April. I mean, we got a lot of time to kill. So I got my pile of books to read here. Already finished Read at the Bone for our book club. So I'm looking forward to our chat coming up. And yeah, I got a bunch of other books, and the LA libraries have suspended all due dates until the end of the month, until we know what the hell is going on. So I got plenty of time. Mindhunters. Isabel, I couldn't get into that. I found it too tedious. I don't know. I didn't see Dracula, but you know what I've heard is amazing, and I guess now it's on Amazon, is The Invisible Man, the new movie with Elizabeth Moss. My friend told me, if you guys remember Philium from our days on Movie Buzz, we had a brunch, just like a home brunch at our friend's house for a puppy play date, maybe 3 weeks ago. So a week before everything went nuts with Miss Rona. And he was like, you need to see this, and you need to see it in a theater, because the theater experience, it's going to make it so much more incredible. And now that's not even an option. But then another one of y'all, we were chatting in the DMs. I don't know if you're here, Angelo. But he was just like, T, you need to see this. And I was just like, I want to, but I also like kind of want to hold out until I can see it in theaters. But then again, By the time all of this is over, like it's probably not going to be in any theaters. I'm sure they're just going to move on to whatever is current by then. Don't Fuck with Cats. I've heard a lot of talk about that. I haven't watched it. It seems like it's going to be hard to watch, to be honest with you. Paris is Burning, Diva Views, I've seen a number of times. I love it. I love Paris is Burning. I feel like I could watch that ad infinitum. AJ and the Queen, I have not watched, but I love RuPaul, so I will. Kelly, Ozark is good. I haven't finished it. I just sort of like lost steam with it, but I thought it was pretty good. I just love Jason Bateman. I'll watch anything with Jason Bateman. Yeah, Mariella, I feel like it's an interesting predicament for the movie theaters because like there will be movies that have been planned to be out for whatever week all of this is over. I mean, we don't know what week that'll be, but movie release dates are planned way, way, way in advance. So there are movies that should have been out yesterday, and there are movies that are supposed to be out next Friday. That ain't gonna happen, so we'll have to see. So if it's 2 months from now, are they just going to go back to the releases that were already slated to be out then? I don't know. What does that mean for all the things that should have come out in between? AJ and the Queen is a genuinely feel-good show. I'll have to check it out. I think we could all use a little bit of feel-good programming right now, no? Yeah, I wasn't sure if Ozark got canceled or not after the second season because I feel like I should have heard about a season three by now, at least like plans for it. So that's surprising. I guess maybe it just never got that juice it needed. Thank you, Abla. Very generous. Black Spot, Dark, The Rain. Ooh, Sanyo, I love a foreign language film. Better Call Saul. I like Better Call Saul. I want to love it and I don't. I think maybe I liked the first two seasons more than I've liked it as it's gone on. I think the pace is too slow for me. With Better Call Saul, like I don't think that it's missing quality of storytelling and writing. It's just the pace. And I imagine that they're trying to stretch time as much as they can because we know what happens to Saul, more or less. I mean, obviously, oddly enough, this seems to be told mostly through flashback, the series, in terms of we're seeing in those black and white clips that we see in every episode, we're seeing Saul. I hope this isn't too much of a spoiler. Sorry, it's a little bit of one. We're seeing Saul post Breaking Bad, but we more or less know for the most part what happens to Saul after Better Call Saul via Breaking Bad. Oh, thank you, Carrie Fox. Thank you for the super chat. So it seems like they're kind of spinning their wheels and trying to like stretch, you know, like the classic floor director of live TV shows where it's just like it seems like they're trying to do that a little bit with Better Call Saul because I'm like, you guys, this is a very slow pace. It's a little bit too slow for me. Yeah, I feel you, space-time continuum. Our Journey Called Life, I feel like I lost steam with that, with Ozark too. Like, I was just like, okay, like, this was a good start, but I kind of like, I don't know, it just didn't hold me. Yeah, I imagine Hatan. I'm sure I mean, I think I said this earlier, this is becoming a great indicator of who's a piece of shit. The people who are hoarding hand sanitizer and assaulting people. We had someone whose mother, who's in her 60s, was assaulted during all this because she was at a grocery store or something. It's like, okay, now we're seeing who the poison is in the community. Oh, Diva Views, is this what the cancel Kanye or whatever? Someone mentioned this earlier and I didn't know what was going on with that, but I gotta be honest with you. I could not care less about anything involving Taylor Swift. I don't care. So I guess this is the phone call that like Kim Kardashian recorded a couple years ago. Is that what you guys are talking about? Thank you, Just Us. Thank you for the super chat. Isabel, why did Twin Peaks keep going on after you find out who killed Laura? I think that's one of those shows that infamously just went downhill and fast after a certain point. There's a lot of shows that do that. I mean, I think people get greedy and they have a certain desire to keep something going even after it doesn't have any life left in it. Okay, so I think you guys are saying yes about me thinking of the right tape or whatever with Kim Kardashian like secretly recording her. I mean, I guess I'll. You know what? I'm probably not going to look it up. I'm being I'm being honest with you. I'm probably not going to look it up. I don't care about anything any of these people do. Irrelevant doesn't cover it. It's beyond that. Wendy, I mean, apparently there was a Taylor Swift documentary or something that came out on Amazon a couple months ago. And I was at the dog park and someone was like talking to me about it. And he was like, so you're going to watch it? It's just like, I would rather do literally anything else. I think he was a little bit taken aback by just how straightforward I was. Where there was like, I could not care less about anything Taylor Swift does. She's a troll, Kim Kardashian is a troll, and Kanye West is a troll. And for any of them to even be bringing up any of this like cold ass tea, cold iced tea, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Thank you, Sade. I do not care. I'm actually disappointed I know about it. Wanderlust, I won't tell anyone. Jude, Taylor Swift is the epitome or the epitome, as Shia LaBeouf would say, of unseasoned. Mayochella sealed it. That's when I was done, Diva Views. Mayochella's just like, that's a wrap for me, dog. I mean, I already like wasn't a fan, but the Mayochella thing, I was just like, you are a troll. You're a troll. Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. They are trolls for sure and don't care about any of them. I'm with you, Faith. Isabel, the live might be lagging because I've been on an hour and 17 at this point. So should I wrap it up? I think I should. But we will definitely do another one. Let's see. Probably early midweek, maybe like Tuesday or something, Patreon fam. So I'll talk to you guys about that on Patreon. And then we'll do another one of these with everyone because, as I always say, no, I don't want anyone to feel excluded. Like, no reason for people to not be able to hang out on a live because they can't afford Patreon. Like, it's not like that. It's just the Patreon ones are nice because it is a smaller group and I'm able to literally read every message in the chat, whereas here, not realistic. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you all my friends and mods. Hey, April. Oh, there you are, April. Let me make you a mod because I was trying to add everyone. April Pryor is now a moderator. Thank you. So I was trying to add pretty much everyone who was in our Patreon live from earlier this week. And I was just like kind of toggling through the timeline on the live and the back end on YouTube and adding people. But I remember you kind of dipped in and dipped out. And I was just like, I feel like I'm forgetting someone. And it was you, April. So you're a mod now. You should have a wrench. Audra had to take Bo out to poop. Audra, we're wrapping up. And yeah, this was fun. We'll do this again sometime. I think I'm going to keep doing Saturday Night Lives for sure. But if I have the strength, if I have the strength on top of just doing regular videos, Patreon content, all that, maybe I can be as ambitious as my girl Alicia and do 2 YouTube lives, as well as a Patreon live, as well as my normal content, as well as my Patreon content. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do because caffeine is still available. But beyond that, I got nothing else for you. No Taylor fans as mods. But before I go, before I hit end stream, there was this weird message when I opened up my can of high ABV kombucha, and I looked in there. I looked, and it said, "Never trust anyone with a Morphe code." Bye, guys.